Sí, me sorprendió un poco que me haya dado la revancha, como yo pensaba que no, como a nadie le da, me sorprendió bastante.
Let me translate that. The question is, were you surprised you got the rematch? He said, yes, I was a little surprised that he gave me the rematch. He normally doesn't do it. He's only done it one other time in his career. He gave it to me, so yes, it did surprise me a bit.
Habla sobre los guantes. Bueno, todavía no hemos hablado con él, con el equipo de él, con nadie sobre los guantes, pero ya va a llegar el momento de que yo no sé si me va a aceptar esos guantes, mi guante o no.
He asked about the gloves, what's the situation with the gloves, and he said it's an open issue. It hasn't been closed yet. I'm going to talk to my team. We're going to fight for my gloves, and he's probably going to not allow me to use my gloves, but we're going to fight for it.
Yo creo que ya mentalmente voy a estar bien para usar esos guantes. La primera pelea me cambiaron los guantes sobre la pelea y ahí fue donde afectó un poquito, pero bueno, ahora ya voy a estar bien y creo que me voy a adaptar a esos guantes. En los entrenamientos voy a tratar de usarlos.
The question was, talk a little bit how it affected you not fighting in your gloves and if it's going to affect you, and he said, in the rematch, I'm going to be mentally strong no matter what. You know, the gloves don't make a difference, but I do want to use my gloves, and if I have to wear different gloves, then I'll have a chance to train with different gloves and be ready for the rematch.
In the round, you were trying to get the attention of referee Tony Weeks, and he tried to sneak a punch in on you at that moment, Victor Ortiz style. How aware do you have to be when you're in the ring with him? Is he a so-called dirty fighter?
En el octavo asalto, cuando estabas peleando en la primera pelea, tú estabas tratando de hablar con el referee y él trató de tirarte un golpe. ¿Tú crees que es un poco sucio, un peleador él?
Sí, es muy sucio, usa mucho los codos, muchas peleas, en todas las peleas que él siempre con el codo adelante, te lo pone en la garganta y bueno, él puede hacer lo que quiere, ¿no? El árbitro, el referee no le llama mucho la atención.
Yes, in that aspect, I do think he's a little bit of a dirty fighter. I mean, you see all his fights, he likes to use his elbows. You know, one of his favorite moves is to use his elbow and put it in the fighter's throat. But the referees, for some reason, they let him get away with it. You know, but yes, he is a little bit of a dirty fighter.
Okay,
hold on, he was next.
Two more questions. One question, please. The 1.5 million, will you take that again to not use his glove? Is there any price?
Supuestamente te pagaron una cantidad, 1.5 para usar los guantes de él. Si te ofrecen lo mismo, ¿lo vas a aceptar o no?
¿Es cierto eso, Chico?
¿Es cierto de eso?
No es cierto eso y si no peleaba no había pelea. Si no peleaba yo no aceptaba esos guantes no había pelea, así que ahora voy a tener que aceptarlo de vuelta para poder volver a pelear con él.
No, that's just a rumor. That's not true. No, it's not true. He said, look, you know, they're probably not going to want me to wear the gloves, but if I have to wear their gloves or whatever to fight the rematch, I'm going to fight anyway.
Mayweather said he's going for the knockout in the rematch. What's your response?
Dice Mayweather que te va a noquear, que él te quiere noquear en la revancha. ¿Qué es tu respuesta?
Bueno, yo también lo quiero noquear, así que los dos estamos en lo mismo.
Bueno, baile.
Va a estar buena la pelea porque lo vamos a buscar knockout.
Well, I guess it's going to be a great fight because I'm looking for the knockout as well.
What changed late in the fight, in the first fight between you guys, where he kind of took over, and how can you answer that in this fight?
Cambió la pelea en los últimos asaltos, como que él tenía más energía y él le controló la pelea. ¿Qué va a cambiar en esta pelea? ¿Qué es lo que tienes que hacer para cambiar eso?
Sí, bueno, él ganó los últimos asaltos, yo gané los primeros, pero bueno, voy a tratar de llevar el mismo ritmo que él y bueno, cuando él apriete, yo también.
Yes, I'm going to have to make that adjustment. He did take over a little bit at the end. He won the later rounds. I'm going to have to make the adjustments. And, you know, when he pressures, I'm going to pressure too. And that's one of the adjustments I have to make.
Carlos, ¿qué te sorprendió más él que antes de la pelea que después de la pelea dijiste, caray, ¿por qué no hice esto diferente?
No, yo vi en la pelea ahí arriba del ring. Vi que no tenía mucho él, que no parecía lo que es. después dije cómo no me tranquilicé un poco porque salí muy ansioso a buscar el knockout, a ganarle y le podía llegar a haber ganado por decisión.
The question was, what did you learn about Mayweather that you didn't know before the fight, and you were able to realize it after the fight? And he said, well, I realized that he's not that great. He's not that great person that everybody talks about. I think that I was a little anxious. If I would have been a little more calm, I would have beat him.
Eric, how does he compare Floyd's defense, power, and speed to other guys he's faced, like Broner and other guys? How does he compare?
¿Cómo puedes comparar, la defensa, velocidad de Floyd contra otros, la pegada, o sea, diferencia a otros peleadores como Broner o otros peleadores que has peleado?
Bueno, de Broner y todos los otros peleadores que yo he peleado y que, excepto Cam, que han corrido todo el ring, pero hay muchos que se han quedado parados y por ahí lo he llegado a noquear o darle una caída.
No, he said, with the exception of Khan, who ran the whole fight, there's guys that do stand and fight a little bit, and they've given me a chance to fight and beat them. No, that's the only difference, with the exception of Khan. Khan ran a lot.
So he wasn't impressed with anything Floyd did in there?
No te impresionó para nada. No, not at all.
¿Cuándo comienzas a trabajar en Oxnard? ¿Y qué van a trabajar diferente tú y Robert, ya que pelearon con él una vez?
Bueno, el lunes empezamos a entrenar y bueno, vamos a corregir no muchas cosas, pero los golpes, algunos que no, en la primera pelea con Floyd no tuvimos mucho recorrido, los golpes fue muy encima y nada, eso, la distancia vamos a corregir mucho.
The question was, when do you guys start training and what changes will you make during training camp? And Chino said, we start this Monday and I just have to make some slight adjustments. Some of the punches I'll be throwing and more than anything work my distance, not smother my punches. I think I smothered my punches in the first fight.
Chino, si no te dejan usar tus guantes de Everlast MX, ¿cuál vas a usar? ¿Cuál quieres usar?
No, lo que usé con la primera pelea, yo creo, estos guantes parece que lo han inflado, son muy algodonados, muy acolchonados.
The question was, if you're not going to fight with the MX Everlast that you want to wear, what other gloves will you wear? And he said, most likely the same ones I used in the first fight. They just didn't feel comfortable. They kind of feel like pillows.
Robert, can you tell me about the fan response in every city? Who had more fans, Maidana or Mayweather?
Every city's been great, man. There's been a lot of fans for Mayweather and a lot of fans for Maidana. New York was awesome. I thought it was going to be all Mayweather, but now we had half was all Maidana and the other half was Mayweather. And then Washington D.C., most of the fans were for Mayweather, but it was still a great experience. And from there on, it's all been pretty much all Maidana.
Do you think Floyd is going to try to run?
¿Tú crees que Floyd va a correr más esta pelea?
Yo creo que sí, en todas las peleas corre. En la primera pelea dijo que se iba a parar y nunca se paró.
I think he is. I think he's going to run. He always runs. The first fight he said that he was going to stand toe-to-toe and fight, but he ended up starting to move once I attacked him.
Robert, Chino talked a little bit about Floyd's tactics in the first fight. Floyd complained a lot about Chino's tactics in that fight. Given that that's his aggressive style, does he plan on doing anything different this time around?
No, we fight aggressive, man. That's if he thinks he had a rough fight the first time, this time's gonna be rougher. We're not gonna give him no breaks or anything. That's the way we fight. That's the chances we got. So with a few adjustments, a few punches that we're gonna work on and correct. But besides that, we're gonna give this.
Eric, can you ask him what prompted him to push Floyd in the last press conference? They hadn't got physical up until then. What prompted him to do that?
¿Por qué lo empujaste en la última conferencia?
Porque se me acerca mucho a la cara.
It gets too close to my face.
Is he used to the trash talk? I know Broner did a lot of it. We're seeing a little bit more from Floyd. Is he kind of used to it? Is it going to bother him at all?
¿Te acostumbraste que lo que él está hablando, las cosas malas que está hablando?
Sí, igual entiendo y no me importa.
I really don't understand him, so I don't care what he says.
Robert, what you said when people say he fought more like an MMA fighter than a boxer with all the tactics?
Well, he's trying to use excuse, trying to right now he's really trying to get all you guys to believe that we're dirty. He's trying to get the judge, whoever judge. I'm sure he doesn't know who the judges are. We don't know either, but whoever the judges are, they're all reading this, and he's using that to try to get that into the head. It's part of the way he is and the way he's smart, But hopefully we get an even shake, even with the ref, whoever the ref is, by the ref hearing all that, everything he's saying, then of course the ref's already going to look into that. But hopefully we get a fair shake in that.
Robert, is this psychological warfare then on Mayweather's part? How do you combat it?
What was that?
Are you insinuating this is psychological warfare on Mayweather's part? And if it is, how do you combat it?
Well, look, it did surprise us because the first fight he was nothing but friendly with us. Gave myself nothing but respect as a trainer and as a former world champion. This time it's gone a little overboard, but I think he's the one losing at the end anyway. So I think it's going to affect him, not us.
Robert, when he's talking about somebody, he was talking about it. He thought he smothered his punches a little bit, and now he wants to fight a little bit more at a distance. Is that kind of what?
Well, we're gonna correct a lot of those punches. We're not gonna try to counter punch it. We just can't. But we're gonna be aggressive, but just that little half distance and not too close, and that's what Chino's talking about, and it should be effective. We got a good game plan.
How come y'all keep talking about Floyd moving around? What's cool about getting hit?
Huh?
What's cool about getting hit? You're talking about moving around.
Of course, that's his style, and just like he's saying we're dirty, well, we gotta say stuff like that too. So maybe that forces him to stand in front of us and exchange punches. You know what I mean? It's part of the promotion, part of the fight, and hopefully he's forced to fight.
I mean, but ¿cuántas oportunidades crees que tienes de ganar?
Because you guys shook
¿De 0 a 100 o cuántas chances tienes de ganar? ¿Estás 50%?
I feel like
99%.
Okay, guys, any other questions?
Me voy a preparar muy bien, voy a hacer una pelea para mí. Bueno, yo siempre peleo por adelante y dar buena pelea.
What can we expect? What can we expect the night of the fight? And he said, "Well, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to give people what they want to see, be aggressive, move forward, and fight the way I fight."
How much easier will this training camp be for you now that you know how to fight this guy compared to the first?
Hey, este campamento va a ser más fácil para ti ahora que lo conoces.
Yo creo que sí.
Yes, I think so. I think you're right. Yes.
Can you ask him about no strength conditioning coach Alex Ariza this time? Is he using anybody else, or is he just going to do the conditioning on his own?
That's a Robert question. That's a Robert question.
He's over there busy.
Robert, the question's for you.
Without Alex Ariza, are you guys hiring anybody else, or are you, like you told me, are you guys still going to do it on your own as far as getting him in conditioning?
What we're doing is pretty much doing it on our own. We're gonna have some help of somebody that I'm bringing in. But it's going to be basics, running hard in the mornings. We just need to make sure he's got somebody that's timing him and pretty much doing the work. But it's going to be also just run hard, train hard, eat good, rest, and that's pretty much it.
Robert, Mayweather has said stuff about you that you got knocked out by Corrales, you got Bentaki, that he didn't know who he was. This is the first time a fighter goes after you. How do you feel about that?
That was 60 years ago, and hey, honestly, I feel honored to say that I lost to Corrales. Man, Corrales is going to be remembered as one of the greatest in history. So, man, I lost to Corrales, and I could sit down and watch the fights with my kids and enjoy the fights for 7 rounds. I know Mayweather can't sit down with his kids and watch one of his fights because they'll fall asleep.
Robert, what weight do you want him to walk into the ring at?
I'm gonna try to bring him in, not as heavy as we did the first time, and this was the first time fighting Mayweather, so we wanted to take every advantage. That's why we came in heavy. After the fight, when Chino told me he's not that strong, he's not as fast as everybody believes, we're not gonna do that mistake. It was planned, but at the end of the day, it was a mistake because he would have been a lot faster, he would have been a lot stronger, he would have gone maybe through the whole 12 rounds with the same energy that he had the first 6.
You think I hurt him at the end of the fight?
It must have hurt him, yeah, but and of course he's not going to say it because he's the word, but I know, I'm a trainer, and I know that this time we're going to go maybe 5 to 7 pounds lighter, and that'll be a big
From a trainer perspective, is there anything that in the Mayweather fight that you saw, just like I asked Marcus, is there anything that, from your perspective, that you saw that you were like, not what I expected? Is there anything that you took away from it?
We both believe the same thing, but coming from him, who felt the punches and was in front of him, that gives me that extra energy to even work harder and know that in the second one, it could be if he fights, if we get the fight that we want, it could be easier fight. But he also fought us, so he also learned a lot from us. He also knows what he's expecting from Chino, so he's also gonna have his game plan. So he's also making his adjustments. So it will be like a totally different, like a new fight.
What's the last question over here?
Why did you guys move away from Ariza after this one? After the match?
You know what? The whole team made this decision. It was not just Chino. It was the whole team. Honestly, we came back to think. You know, with my dad, who was a big role in my boxing career as a trainer and my fighters. We decided. You know, I became champion without a conditioning coach. Fernando Vargas did the same. Brandon Rios did the same. Mikey Garcia did the same. You know, when those guys started coming in, is when Fernando Vargas started losing. Brandon lost 2 fights in a row when he brought in conditioning coach. So, you know, we feel that if we do it the way we used to do it and the way great fighters used to do it and fight for 15 rounds, you know, we just gotta rest good, eat healthy, and train hard.
Good. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Gotta move over.
Thank you. Thank you.
Two more.
Which way, Ramiro?